Bills at the Jets Thursday night. We talked about it a little bit already. Mike's rolling Shady out there. What do you do with Carlos Williams? Can you flex him?
Yeah, I think he's still a flex. The concern with Shady is we don't know what type of a workload he's going to get with that banged up AC joint. I expect him to be fine, get his normal to full workload, but that Carlos Williams is still involved. Carlos Williams is a touchdown machine.
Thus far, it's true. I don't think I buy into it.
I don't either.
I know Mike's laughing, but David Johnson was a touchdown machine. He's not anymore.
Well,
when you have limited reps, it cannot continue like that.
Yeah, you can't always just score.
That doesn't mean I don't stay in the
and,
touchdown
And if
flames.
you're trying to predict, which obviously we've said this before, touchdowns are one of the hardest things to predict
for anybody.
Yeah, but if you're making that attempt, you've got him getting the fewer touches and a terrible matchup. I mean, the Jets' secondary is depleted, and they might be able to throw on him, but they're not going to be running all over him. I just don't see that happening. So I don't think I would flex Carlos Williams unless it was a real desperate situation.
Let me lay down some stats for you. The run defenses for these guys, the Jets are the first against the run this season, so we temper some expectations maybe with McCoy, especially if he's injured. Bills are the sixth against the run, and Ivory's been atrocious. That being said, no Bilal Powell producing on if there's a red zone carry, he gets it. How do you feel about those guys?
I do not feel confident in Ivory. Unfortunately, he's a player that you have to start. I can't imagine a lower level option on my bench that I would play over Chris Ivory. He's still going to be a top 24 type guy.
Would you start him or Charkandrick West this week?
Ooh, I think I would start West.
Okay.
In that situation.
Okay. I'm trying to see where we have our consensus rankings here, and Ivory is, I think, low.
I think he's near a bottom RB2 just because the matchup, and he's been running for about a yard a carry. That being said, the Bills, the one thing that they have done consistently from their running defense is given up touchdowns. I think it's like 4 or 5 games in a row that a running back has scored a touchdown, 2 on them on the ground last week. So that fits Chris Ivory's build very nice. If you get some red zone opportunities, I think this is a high probability that Ivory gets in the end zone again this week. So I'm not too scared of him. He's just not going to have the huge.
He's had 3 catches in successive games as well because of the lack of Bilal Powell.
Which is great for his floor.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when you turn it over to the passing side of things, the Bills are 24th against the pass in terms of points given up to wide receivers. The Jets are in the middle. This means better things for that side of the ball or that side of the offense. What do we think about first? Start with the Jets. Talk to me about Marshall and Decker. I think everybody knows you're going to roll Marshall out there. But let me give you some decisions to make with Decker. Would you start Eric Decker? Right now we have him 16. So would you start him over Crabtree?
No.
Yeah, Mike would not.
I think I would.
Jason has Michael Crabtree so low that I don't even know what that number is. I can't even read it.
700.
Yeah, so you just have him matchup based down?
Yep.
Okay.
Now that being said, if Amari Cooper is out, while Crabtree might get the better defender, which that we didn't talk about that in the news that much,
right.
But there's he sat out for some knee issue.
Quad. It was a quad injury.
That's right. It was a quad. If he does go, then that's all the more targets, and I would bump Crabtree up despite the.
So what about Decker over somebody like Devontae Adams?
Oh, that is really rough because Adams' matchup is so delightful against the Lions. My heart says Decker, though.
Yeah, as does your rankings.
Yes, nailed it.
As does your rankings. So what do we think about, is Charles Clay no longer viable?
Oh, Charles Clay, what happened? What happened, man?
I think turnover at running back, turnover at quarterback, offensive changes.
He's still a low-end 1 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody we're missing there other than, we can talk Tyrod Taylor. You starting him?
I am.
You starting Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Okay. Fitzpatrick was my wasn't he my start of the week or stream of the week?
Yeah.